Good afternoon, everybody that's here already. It's great to see so many people here. We will be starting just a couple of minutes after 1:30, just to give a few more people the chance to log in. Please remember to switch cameras and microphones off. I have started recording already, so we'll be back live in a couple of minutes.
Camera might not work. Do you want to see if you can hear through that?
Okay then, ladies and gents, boys and girls, I think we're good to go. So very good afternoon to you all. My name is Mr. Chitty. I'm the assistant head teacher here at South Wirral. I should probably just explain that we are having a charity own clothes day today, where we've all been challenged to wear our best PE kit. So I'm very proud to be wearing my AFC Bournemouth shirt. And so all of the other staff and children here today are all wearing their different sports kits. So it's been a great day so far. And Mr. Goodwin, who you can probably see on the screen, has even allowed us to play 3 Lions over the tannoy as lunchtime was beginning. So we've all had a very good time. We're split up into a few sections today. I've got a presentation which I'll give you a bit more information on the transition process and what's coming next. And then we'll take some questions at the end again. But I'll start by handing over to Mr. Goodwin.
Thank you, Mr. Chitty. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm really pleased to see you all today. Whether you're in school or whether you're at home today, you're all most welcome. And this is really the first occasion when I can say to you, welcome to South Wirral High School. Isn't it strange to consider that you will be the class of 2028? Because it'll be the year 2028 when you leave us and start on a journey to university or to apprenticeships or to start careers. And what we want for all of you is to be able to follow your dreams. No matter what you want to be, we want to support you to do that. We want you to be successful learners. We want you to be happy and confident in yourself. And we want you to be responsible citizens as well, because we are really proud that we're a community school and right at the heart of our community. And we play a very, very active role in our community. Many of your brothers and sisters and other relatives in the family, mum and dad, perhaps have been to South Wirral High School, and you are going to be part of that story moving forward, just as they were. As we move on, I'm going to take you back to Mr. Chitty, because he's going to talk to you about the really practical things that you'll want to know, and there'll be a chance to ask and answer some questions as well. I hope to see you all in the summer, because we're having a special welcome event in the summer holidays, and I'll be here every day. And I'll try and find out wherever you are. But if you see me, you're welcome to come up and say hello. I'll be really, really pleased to meet you. And I'll see you all together for the very first time on the 2nd of September, which is the day that Year 7 starts at South Wirral. And on that day, only Year 7 will be in our school. And all our attention is focused on welcoming you on that day. So without further ado, I'll hand you back to Mr. Chitty to cover the important points. I hope it's a useful session for you. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Goodwin. So, as Mr. Goodwin said, the class of 2028, I'd scarcely believe it when I worked that out earlier today. I always start my presentations by explaining what some of the students who have just left us have gone on to do. So we've said goodbye to our year 13s recently, and they've gone to some of the universities on the screen here to study some of the subjects you can see. And they really are some of the best universities in the whole country. And I just want to give this message to you really, which is, if you try your best every day, then you can achieve anything that you want to do. You can go on and do any of these wonderful things. And probably most of you will go on and do things that you haven't even considered yet. And the most important thing you can do to set yourself up well is to give your best effort every single day. I'm sure you've been doing that already, and we look forward to seeing that from you all in September. I'll try and answer some of the questions that I've been sent on Google Classroom from you all now, and I'll mention a few things that I mentioned to parents and carers yesterday when we spoke to them. So we're in our online transition event here now. This is being recorded so that if anybody wants to go back and refer to it later, if there's questions that you can't remember the answers to that we speak about, then you will have a chance to pick that up again at another time. Between the 9th and the 12th of August, there is a transition week here on site at school. Now, of course, the idea was that today you would all be on site here, and it would have been the first time you'd come together as a year group. And we haven't been able to do that due to the pandemic. But we're really, really hoping, we've got our fingers crossed, that on the 9th of August, we're going to be able to welcome all 225 of you onto the school site for those 4 days. You'll be the only students here at that time. Lots and lots of our teachers have volunteered their time to come and deliver some really exciting workshops. We've got a great sports event planned for the Wednesday especially, which will be really exciting. The week's entirely free, so there's no cost to your parents or carers, and that includes lunch every day as well. And all your parents and carers need to do to sign you up is do so on our school website. Now, I've explained that to all of your parents and carers, and we've sent a few emails out, but it might be worth checking this evening when you go home, just to say, have you signed me up for the August transition week? Because it's going to be a really great event. And then, as Mr. Goodwin said, on the 2nd of September, we'll be welcoming you all through the door in your South Wirral uniforms and your red ties, ready for your first day of school. And again, you'll be the only students on site at that point as well. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be delivering your transition goodie bags to you in your primary schools. Now, obviously, we would have done this today. You'd have been sent away with this today if you'd been on site. In your transition goodie bag will be your reading book and your summer reading task. So it's a proper novel. We've bought everyone a copy of the same book. So you'll all have a copy of that to read and some activities to complete. There's also going to be some information about your houses. So you've all been assigned to a house, which I'll explain in a moment. And then possibly most excitingly of all, you've got a set of 3D glasses, some popcorn and a cinema ticket. And I've got mine here ready to go. So I'm hoping that, as soon as everyone gets their transition goodie bag, we'll all be able to put our 3D glasses on. And we're going to watch the 3D transition video that our wonderful marketing team have put together for us. And so I'm very excited to see that. I've only seen a very small preview of it so far, and we're going to wait until everyone gets their transition bags before we release that. So that'll be fantastic. In September, there are going to be 225 of you in the year group, and you're going to be split into 4 houses. We've got 4 houses here at school, Laird, Stanley, Mayor and Wilson. The house allocations now have been made. There has been a little bit of a delay with that. And primary school teachers, thank you all for all of your input and all the information you've sent in to us. It's been invaluable in preparing our school for the students to come in. And one of the big tasks there has been putting the children into their houses. On Monday, around lunchtime, we're going to email all your parents and carers to let them know what house you've been placed in. And then if anyone's got any questions about that afterwards, you'll be able to email into us and ask those questions. In your goodie bags, then you're going to get a leaflet which explains your house and lots of other information. Your house progress leaders are here on the screen. Ordinarily, they'd be stood with me on the stage during this assembly, but I've let them have the afternoon off. They're teaching their classes in the rest of the school. So Wilson, Mayor, Stanley and Laird, your house progress leaders will be here on the first day of school in September. They'll be at the front of the school to welcome you all in. And then I'll be able to introduce them to you personally as the day goes on. A reminder then about what's happening on Google Classroom. I think so far, last count, there was 145 of you So out of 225 students in total, 145 of you have logged into Google Classroom and completed some of the activities there, which is fantastic. Your Google Classroom logins were emailed to your parents and carers about 6 or 7 weeks ago now, I think. If you think that you didn't get it or you might have been lost, then again, if your parents or carers or your primary school teachers email us, then we'll be able to get those out to you. The Treasure Island task especially, I think, has been fantastic, and there's been some great artwork submitted alongside the literature that's been handed in so far there as well. And I know Miss Hodgson Evans, who's the head of English, has been interacting with lots of you there, giving you feedback on the work you've done. Times Tables Rock Stars, some very healthy competition going on already between New Year 7 students on the website there. And it looks like that will continue all the way through the summer. So if you fancy yourself there as being particularly skilled with your times tables and you haven't yet had a go, then I encourage you to log on and see what the level of competition is like on the TT Rockstars website. Mr. Hughes and his French lessons have gone down particularly well, and there's lots of videos that Mr. Hughes has created for that. And so even if you haven't studied languages before, you haven't studied French before, Mr. Hughes has done some really great instructional guides to get you going there, ready for the start in Year 7. So especially if you haven't looked at those yet, dig into those, because they'll really help you in September. And then Mr. Harrison, who you all met, who was with me last time, he's put some more LORIC activities on. There will be one more LORIC activity coming up, and that will be released, I think, in 2 weeks' time. I've had a few questions about the uniform. All of these details were emailed to parents and carers, and they're on our website. Just to say, boys and girls, that the uniform is really, really simple. It's very straightforward. The only things that have got the school logo on are the tie and the blazer badge. And if anyone's not sure about something and you want to send us a question, then please do, and we'll answer it. And a few people have already sent me photographs of school shoes, for example, which is absolutely fine. I'll happily answer any of those questions as they come in. One question I got asked on the Google Classroom a couple of weeks ago was about mobile phones. So I think probably as a result of people knowing that they've got siblings here. So we are a phone-free school. That means that we don't have phones out at any point from the time you walk into the gate to when you leave. A few students occasionally that have got to travel a long distance or a longer distance sometimes have a mobile phone switched off and in their bag in case they get stuck on the bus on the way to or from school. And that's absolutely fine. But we don't have phones out at all in school. And as a result of that, very few students in Year 7, you won't find many students bringing phones in at all. Mr. Harrison's asked me to remind everyone that when you all start in September, he's going to be advertising all of our wonderful extracurricular activities to you. And he's going to be challenging you to join at least one extracurricular club as soon as you can in September. And we'll have an extracurricular fair as well, where all of the teachers and the students that run these clubs will be advertising them to you. So you've got a challenge there, which is to join one of those clubs before the end of September, which I'm sure you'll all be able to. And that is everything that I've been asked so far. So the chat is open on the right-hand side now. So I'll happily take any questions at all if you want to pop them in the chat box, and I'll do my best to answer them. There were some really good questions from parents yesterday. Someone was asking me about how the canteen works. So the canteen is what we call cashless catering. So everyone gets a 4-digit number, and all of the payments are online. So parents and carers can add funds to your account online, so you don't need to bring money to and from school. So that's how the canteen works. There were a few questions yesterday from parents about uniform, which we managed to answer, and lots of information on the website there. And then there was a couple of questions about the timings of the school day. Now, the school day, I expect in the new year, is going to start at 9 o'clock in the morning. And we're hoping that we won't need to do what we've done this year, which is have a staggered entry. So different year groups have arrived at different times. But that will be confirmed in the next couple of weeks or so. So we've got a first question here from Andrea. It says, how much is a locker? So lockers are £20 for all 5 years of the lower school, and you can keep it into the sixth form as well. And that includes a £5 deposit, which you get back at the end of your time with us. And we'll be taking locker deposits during the August transition weeks. So At the end of each of the transition days in August, we'll have a little stand in reception where you'll be able to buy ties, badges, equipment, and reserve a locker. So you'll be able to sort that out then. D. Johnson, how many classes are there each day and what times are they? So there are 5 classes a day, each of them an hour long, and they usually start at 9 o'clock. And hopefully we'll finish at 3 o'clock. Becky Linwood, so we've got, can girls wear pants? Yeah, absolutely. So the uniform is unisex. How much is the uniform? So the good thing about the uniform here is that it's plain school shoes, plain pants or pinafore or skirt, white shirt and plain black blazer with the badge. So all of those items can be sourced wherever you like. So, you know, Asda do a great range of really hardy schoolwear, which is very affordable. And the only thing that's branded is the badge, £3.50, and the tie, £5.50. So it's pretty accessible for everybody. Can boys wear shorts? No, we don't have shorts in the uniform, in the day-to-day uniform. Obviously, there's shorts in the PE kit, but there's no shorts in the day-to-day uniform. When do we find out what house we're in? Monday. Parents and carers, look out for your emails, and that'll be going around on Monday. Do we have buddies? So because the introduction to year 7 is just with year 7, you're going to have a lot of pastoral support from your house leaders. So you won't there won't be other students on site. So we don't have buddies at that point. We do then sometimes bring some buddies in to support certain classes at different times if we need to. How will the first day go? Successfully, I hope, is the first answer to that, Mackenzie. It will be a really, really pleasant first day. It'll be very enjoyable. You get a very, very warm welcome. You'll be walked through every aspect of the school by your tutor and your house leaders. The start of the day, we'll go into the hall for an assembly where I'll speak to you all and we'll go through the agenda for the day. And then your tutor will give you a bit of a tour. They'll give out planners and bits of equipment and things like that. And then you will do a couple of lessons on your first day as well. But you're going to be ferried around the school, and it's all very, very well organised. Mendel are in isolation. Would we still be able to receive a goodie bag? Well, they'll all be delivered to your primary schools. So then what I would ask is that the primary schools work out how they're going to be distributed the best way. I suspect once your isolation finishes, if when you go back to school, you'll be able to collect it then, or if school's finished by the time certain isolations are finished, then you'll be able to pick it up from reception as soon as you're able to. What else have we got here? What if you forget your PE kit? Well, we have got bits of spare kit in the PE department. So if you were just to forget one item, then we'd be able to lend you something. And hopefully if you were to forget the whole thing accidentally, which obviously we'd encourage you not to do, you might be able to borrow the whole thing. So there is lots of spare regular uniform and spare PE kit in the school. So we do try our best. The important thing to note about organisation in secondary school, boys and girls, is that if you do forget something, it's not the end of the world. Okay, we all forget things. We all sometimes forget where we're supposed to be or what we're supposed to be doing. What we'll introduce you to on the first day is a room across the other side of the school, which is called Student Services. And the best thing you can do when you realise you forget something is go and ask somebody for their help. So if you forget your PE kit, don't wait until your PE lesson to tell your PE teacher I've forgotten it. Go to Student Services at break time and let them know. And then we'll be able to help you sort it out so you're ready for your lesson straight away. What else have we got here? Who do we speak to if we have any problems? Well, that's Student Services as well. So you're going to have these house progress leaders and those assistant house progress leaders. So each house in the school has got 2 pastoral leaders, and they are there just to help you to make sure that you can make the best of every single day you've got at school. And Student Services is where the assistant house progress leaders are, and they're not teachers in school, so they're not teaching any lessons. They're always there waiting to support students in the best way they can. So you would go there and they could help you with almost anything they'll be able to support you with. Who do you speak to if you have any problems? I've just seen this, can I admit someone? I haven't been asked, so I've seen that request, and there is no way, because it's an open meeting, I haven't got a button to press to admit anyone that can't get in, I'm afraid. So I'm not sure how to fix that, but we are recording it. So if anyone's missed it, they'll be able to catch up later. Are we having the 4 days in? I'm not 100% sure what that means. I suspect that means, are we having those 4 days in school? So yes, we're hoping that the 4 days in August, the 9th to the 12th, will be in school site, in person, everyone. And obviously we're just going to cross our fingers for that. So Amy's asked, who are our PE teachers? So Mrs. Batch, Mrs. Adu, Mr. Neil and Mr. Bell are the PE teachers. Miss Batch and Miss Adu are names you'll get to know particularly well because they're also the house leaders of Wilson House and Stanley House. So you'll meet those two immediately on your first day, which is good. Amelia's asking, how long is lunch and break? So break time's 15 minutes, 11 to 11:15, and lunchtime is half an hour, and that will probably be for you 12:30 to 1 o'clock. RE isolated students. Oh, this is from Mr. Stewart, who is our marketing manager here, and he's saying that the goodie bags will be dropped off at primary schools, but if students are isolating for the remainder of the term, they can be collected from South Wirral, or we can send them in the post. Oh, well, there's a tremendous offer. So if you want to make a special request there and you email it into the help desk or reception at school here, we'll be able to help. Thank you very much, Mr. Stewart. Do we have longer than 3 p.m. in night? Do we have longer than 3? I'm not sure. Andrew, could you maybe rephrase that question for me? And I'll see if I can come up with the right answer for you. Stacey's asked, what supplies do we need to buy? So the equipment list is on the school website. But what we ask is that everyone's got a sturdy backpack. They've got a pencil case. They've got pens, black pens, more than one, pencil, ruler, protractor, compass, scientific calculator. Now, we've got a very good deal on scientific calculators. I know that they're about £13 or £14 in the shops, and we've got a supply here at a subsidised price of £7.50. So if you don't have a scientific calculator, which looks like one of these, so it's a bigger device, then you might want to wait until August, and we've got them for almost half price. What supplies? How many teachers are there in our class? So you'll have one teacher per class, and then we have got some teaching assistants in school as well. So you might find that there's a teaching assistant in one of your classes as well. What's the goodie bag? So the goodie bag, I've got my goodie bag here. So the goodie bag will have your summer reading book in it. So everyone's got a copy of the same book. It'll have your house information in, and an activity there called a pen portrait. There, that's got my my smiling face on the front as well. Look, you'll be glad to hear. This is the activity for the reading book here, and then a letter with some information in, and then most excitingly of all, your 3D glasses, your cinema ticket, and some microwavable popcorn ready for the 3D transition video. So it's fantastic, and Mr. Stewart, who's I know is on the call, has worked incredibly hard to get those ready for you. So that's really exciting. Are girls allowed to play football? It said in the information pack only boys may bring in football shoes. Well, that isn't that interesting. Absolutely, everyone is allowed to play football. Everyone is allowed to play any of the sports here. And then we've got a fantastic girls football team. I wonder if in the information pack what it's talking about is the fact that there are different sports available at different times of the year. And I suspect that might be indicating that there's a certain time of the year where the football boots are required, and because we've got boys and girls PE in different groups. But that's interesting. Everyone is allowed to play football. What are we doing for the 4 days? So for the 4 transition days. So you'll be doing subject workshops in the morning. So the teachers have prepared special workshop style lessons. So the science department are doing experiments, and there's a sign language workshop, and there's a dance workshop. The maths faculty are looking at are doing a workshop with some of the practical equipment that they've got. And then every single afternoon there is a sports session. Now we've also got Sale Sharks Rugby Club coming in, and they're going to do a session with each of the groups as well. So you'll be split into 6 groups for those days, and they're going to be really exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll be there as well. What if you get lost? Amy's asked. Well, this school's really good actually, because it is essentially, it's a big square. The corridor is a big square. And so if you were to get lost at some point in your first couple of days, first of all, ask almost anyone. You know, I probably don't ask someone else that looks a bit lost, but any of the older students, any of the teachers, any of the adults that are here, and they'll help you get to where you need to be. However, it is a big square. So if you just keep going round and turning right, in the end, you'll find yourself back at student services, which is by the student entrance, and they'll be able to help you out. How long is the school day? So next year, the school day will be 9 till 3, 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. When do we do transition week? Do you get every day or just one day? Every single day. Stacey, you're very welcome every single day. I know that a couple of people have got prior engagements, so they might only join us for 2 or 3 days, but you're welcome all 4 days. What film movie is it? So we've created a special transition video all about school, which is in 3D. Now there is a 2D version for anyone that's got particular photosensitivities, but the 3D version with the very 80s 3D glasses that I've just modeled for you is all about life in school, and I think it's about 4 minutes long. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. For the transition day, do you have to wear uniform? So for your first day in September, yes, you'll be in your South Wirral uniform. For the summer transition days, no, you're going to wear sports kit. So make sure you're wearing something comfortable that you can do the sports activities on, especially in the afternoon. Do we do computing? Yes, computing's on the timetable for year 7. We've got some great computing teachers and some really nice ICT labs. So that's a big yes to that. Will we get a map of the school? Yes, you will. That's in the back of your planners. So yeah, everyone's got a map of the school. What equipment do we need to bring, or is it all provided? Mr. Johnson, is that for the summer transition days? If it is for the summer transition days, then a bag with a pencil case in would be really useful. Pens, pencils, that sort of thing. Then obviously once school starts in September, it's all that equipment that I just listed. But for example, in the transition days, you don't need your scientific calculator and those sorts of more complicated bits. Oh, and I think I've got to the end of the list of questions, which is good. They were some great questions there, really good. Has anybody got anything else they'd like to ask? While I'm waiting, I'll just give a couple of minutes to see if anyone wants to type anything else. But so the summer transition days, because there's lots of questions about that. Wear your own clothes. Make sure it's something that's suitable for doing the sports in the afternoon. Bring some pens, pencils, that sort of thing with you. Bring a water bottle, a sun hat, and some sun cream if I was you, because the afternoons will be out on the field, and it can get hot at that time of year. But all the food is laid on at lunchtime, so you don't need to worry about that. If you want to bring other food with you, then that's absolutely fine. Just pop that in your bag and bring that with you. The sign-up sheet that's on the website asks you to pick what meal you'd like each day. So you might want to speak to parents and carers about that. I think we got this question last time that Amy's just asked, if we buy a locker, can we decorate it? You can decorate the inside of it, absolutely, just not the outside of it. And there's, especially at Christmas, there's lots of students that like to decorate the inside of their lockers, and we tend to have a little competition around that, which is good fun. Can we bring our own footballs and things like that for break time? Yeah, that's absolutely fine. What we do recommend is that you pop your name on it somewhere, so it's clear that it's yours. But yeah, that's no problem. Obviously, bring it in a bag that's big enough to hold it, so that you don't want to carry a loose football around the corridors of a big secondary school, because you could easily drop it, and then it'll roll away from you quite quickly. How many clubs are there? Mackenzie's asked. I'll be honest, Mackenzie, there are too many for me to have even counted at the moment. There are usually half a dozen clubs going every single day of the week at lunchtimes and after school, and we're usually adding some. So we've been really good. We've had the Hive in these last few weeks, and they've done a brand new extracurricular club after school, and they're doing alternative sports. So they've done all sorts. They've brought Zorbs in and all sorts of peculiar sports that we've never seen before. So that's been really good fun, and they'll be doing that again next year. Does the school bus go down Bolton Road in Port Sunlight? Mr. Stewart is on this call, and he is the expert on school transport. So I imagine he's looking that up as we speak. What is the timetable, please? Harry's asked. So you get your timetable on the first day, 5 lessons a day, 1 hour each, 9 till 3. And it's a 2-week timetable. So we've got a gold week and a lilac week. So at the moment in school, this is a gold week. Next week will be a lilac week. So it's 10 different days as we go around. If we ride the bikes to school, where do we store them? That's good. So we've got 3 big bike sheds around the side. Can I encourage you to do 2 things if you're going to ride your bicycle to school, which is a wonderful thing to do. Please, please, please bring a bike lock and lock your bike up. We haven't had any bikes stolen from here ever, but I'm always encouraging the children to lock their bikes up. They all look like parents and carers have spent lots of money on them, and it would be terrible if something happened to them. You should always lock your bike up wherever you park it, not just at school. And please wear a helmet. We will do bikeability again, which I know lots of you have done already in the new year. So please wear a helmet and be nice and safe. And then there's another question there about buses, which Mr. Stewart is on the case for. And I think that is probably got to the end of those questions, which is great. I will stay on if anybody wants to ask me anything really specific, which I know a few people do. So I'll stay here until everyone's left the call, or at least until it's gone all quiet. And we'll post this video up on the Google Classroom again on Monday, probably. Thank you all very, very much. It's lovely to see you all here. I hope you all have a nice weekend. And when the end of term comes, have a safe and productive summer. And I look forward to seeing the vast majority of you on August the 9th. Okay, bye now.